What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer. Amidst all the hype and excitement surrounding the newest Overwatch hero, Hazard, we got another surprise just recently showing up, which is even more new survey skins. Yes, that's right, it's that time again. More new survey skins to take a look at, and hoo boy, there's first and foremost a lot of them, and as always, there's quite a few that I think are worth taking a look at. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and run through all these new concepts that were released. These are part of official Blizzard surveys, basically surveying the player base to see, what skins people might want to see show up in the game at one point. As a bit of trivia, the recent Mercy Cat skin, which released in Season 13, was actually first shown in one of these surveys. So at this point, we definitely know that Blizzard is seriously considering adding these skins to the game, which means some of the skins we're about to take a look at here today could very well make it into the game one day. But jumping right on in, first and foremost, I do want to mention that these images do come from two separate sources this time actually, being I'm Drewski and Mochi Machi on Twitter. I will have both of them linked down in the description. But first, we do have a list of all the themes listed here as officially stated in the survey itself, which include Magepunk, Godchild, Y2K, pirates, ninja, Japanese yokai, haunted dolls, clean futuristic sci-fi, battle animals, and Overwatch Champions series. So on that note, let's jump into the skins. Starting off first and foremost with what I'm assuming are the battle animals, and yes, these are basically furry skins. These concepts are for Ilari, Juno, Widowmaker, and Ashe, with, Bob being part of the Ashe skin. And yeah, we've seen some animal-themed furry-esque skins in these surveys before, but I feel like these are really taking it a step further, especially that Juno skin. Straight up looking like a red panda or a tanuki or something like that. Yeah, very animal-like. I do imagine that these types of skins would be very popular with quite a few people, especially given this lineup of characters, but a strong start, to say the least. Next up, we get what I believe is the Y2K skins, being for Juno, Tracer, and Lucio. These are sort of like retro, kinda techie-esque vibes. Specifically with the Juno one, you can see that her drones are what look to be old VHS digital cameras. An interesting aesthetic to go for with the drones. I actually quite like that. It's kind of clever. And then the other skins as well have some sort of like white and bluish sort of cool color palettes. I don't know, an interesting little theme to see here concepted. Probably not the most interesting in the lineup, but definitely some nice details in them. And next we get the pirates, being for Kiriko, Lifeweaver, and Reinhardt. Only three, but I gotta say, these are three impressive pirate skins. Reinhardt, I think, is the most outstanding. Wow, big pirate Captain Reinhardt. He's even got the peg leg. The sheer presence of that skin is phenomenal. And Lifeweaver and Kiriko, of course, look great as well. They're definitely going for a more like regal, almost pirate vibe, as opposed to like a dirty, grungy sort of pirate vibe. And I'm all for it. I think these would be cool skins to have in game. Next, then, we get the Japanese yokai skins, which of course include Kiriko, along with Ashe and Bob, Widowmaker, and Roadhog. Yes, these are a pretty fine selection, you could say. Kiriko is of course a kitsune, because of course she is, like, duh. Ashe and Bob appear to be more of a cat-type skin. Bob himself definitely has the appearance of a lucky cat specifically. I'm not too sure on Ashe what she's supposed to be. Similarly, Widowmaker has a design that is maybe inspired by an Oni, based off of the little horns it looks like she has and the mask we can see on her arm. And then Roadhog, of course, is a big tanuki. I gotta say, I quite like the Roadhog one here. It is really nice. All four of them, honestly, pretty good. Definitely some cool skins, which realistically, I think we could very easily see getting added to the game, so we'll have to stay tuned. Next, though, we get the Magepunk set, featuring skins for Juno, Hanzo, Kiriko, and Reinhardt. And again, these are some pretty cool concepts. They do have a sort of like steampunk overall aesthetic, but definitely leaning more into the mage-type magical direction. And while frankly all four look phenomenal, I think Reinhardt's my personal favorite. Just something about the idea of his armor being this like bulky steampunk-esque like power suit almost, with like the green accents to it and like the windows, and like there's like a valve on the side. Man, that just looks so cool for him, and is a great way to sort of flesh out the silhouette and volume of his armor. I really hope he gets something like that. And again, steampunk is one of those themes that is really popular and hasn't really been explored that much in Overwatch, at least in terms of like skins and whatnot. So I could totally see them doing a steampunk season theme at some point, and I think these skins would be great additions for it. Next up then, we have the clean, futuristic sci-fi skins for Ash and Bob, Hanzo, Ramatra, and Juno. Definitely a very sleek, futuristic sort of aesthetic here. I mean, they frankly all look like weird variations of Echo to me, because they have that same palette of like the white within like the gray and the blue accents, and with the very smooth curved designs for everything. I mean, Bob on the left just straight up looks like a reimagining of Echo, as if Bob was made with Echo tech, basically. And yeah, again, I think all four look pretty cool, but maybe aren't the most interesting designs overall. I do think it's cool to see Ramatra get something like this at the very least, since he's a hero that we don't often see represented in these types of surveys. And this is definitely an interesting direction for him to go with a more futuristic sci-fi look beyond his normal Omnic and other kind of more grungy designs I guess he tends to get. So some cool ideas for sure seen represented here. And next we get the Haunted Dolls with skins for Widowmaker, Lifeweaver, Kiriko, and Genji. I could easily see these being skins we get in next year's Halloween event. I mean, we already have multiple skins like this in-game. Ash has a skin like this, Echo has a skin like this, so I would not be surprised in the least bit to see them expand this sort of theming to other heroes as well. I will say, I think Genji's is actually the one that kind of sticks out to me most here, where he has like a sack for a head. Definitely gives him an almost like scarecrow type vibe, and is probably the creepiest out of all of them, which I really like, given the theming they're going for here. And next up is the Godchild set, with skins for Mercy, Diva, Lifeweaver, and Juno. A very ethereal look to these. Again, not my favorite aesthetic personally. I think they look pretty good as skins, and again, I think Juno has some cool designs going on with her drones, giving them an almost sort of like, I don't know, ethereal spirit type look to them. Pretty interesting. Interesting to see Diva as well depicted here without her mech. I'm curious what the mech would look like for a skin like this, but I guess it's just not something included here. And then Lifeweaver and Mercy are looking majestic as always. And the last set then we have is the OWCS collection, featuring skins for Juno, Illari, Reaper, and Echo. These are more vague, I guess, in terms of their theming. Reaper has an almost sort of like hell biker type vibe, where it's just like fire on the side of his belt. Echo has a more angelic, godlike one. And then Illari's is kind of demonic, I guess I'd say. And Juno is, I don't know what's going on with Juno here, but there's like flower petals floating around. And overall, I think these are perhaps my least personal favorite out of all the skins we've had in this survey leak. I don't know. They just seem a bit too abstract. They don't seem specific enough of a theme, but they still look fine overall. And that then does it for all the skins we had revealed in this latest survey. A lot of familiar faces showing up once again. A lot of Juno, a lot of Kiriko, Lifeweaver. Seems like a lot of the same characters keep coming back around in these surveys. And if you're a fan of these characters, like I am for many of them, then that's kind of cool. I like seeing Juno and Kiriko represented with all these different outfits. But it's a shame that heroes like Venture just never seem to get represented here. Like Ramatra at least got a concept shown. That was cool. Even Roadhog. But no Venture. One of these days, Venture will get some love. But for the time being, I will say I did quite like the skins on display here by and large, and I would love if many, if not even most of them, do one day make it into the game. And I would love to hear your thoughts on it too in the comments down below. What are your favorites of the skins shown off in this most recent survey? Do any of them really stick out to you as ones you must get in the game ASAP? Or maybe you just weren't impressed. Maybe none of these really spoke to you, and you'd rather we get something completely different going forward. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe, hit up that bell icon, follow me on X, and join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch 2 news streams and other content. We'll be streaming a ton of the new hero Hazard this weekend, so Be sure to stick around the channel and tune in for those. And with Season 14 coming up on the near horizon, we'll be talking more about the next things coming to Overwatch 2, so you won't want to miss out on any of that. And special thanks, of course, as always, to my YouTube channel members who help support the channel and make these videos possible. If you'd like to join them and earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. And otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.